Hello, trail travelers. It's Carrie, and we are back in the Trail Traveler Garage. And today we are looking at our Dometic CFX73 powered cooler. This thing is, as you can see, it's a beast. It's 73 cubic inches. This is almost the largest you can get. There is a bigger model out there. And I suppose there's got to be a family big enough for that. And remember, going out on the trail, it's generally just Katerina and I. And this fridge is more than sufficient for pretty much everything that we do, unless we're going to be out for like a week. And in that case, this is ideal. In most cases, we only have one side of it turned on. If we're just going out for a day or an overnight, we're probably not going to power up both sides. We're going to only have one side powered up, and it's going to be on a refrigerator setting, like around 35 degrees or so. When we're going out for 4, 5, 6 days, that's when we'll have the other side turned on as a freezer for the beginning of the trip. And that way we can have some frozen meats and things in here that are just going to last longer than just being cold. We want them frozen. Now maybe during the trip, we may change this to being a refrigerator. So that's one of the beauties of this system is it has 2 different zones. And there's 2 different sizes, and we'll see that in a moment. But it is 2 different sizes, and they are independently controlled, and each one can go down to about -7 degrees. And it does an extremely good job. I'm going to move my stool out of the way. It's also dual power. So right now in the garage, I just have it plugged into standard 110. But it also comes with a 12-volt plug, so standard like cigarette lighter style plug that you can plug into your vehicle, and it can run indefinitely on that, depending on how long your vehicle is turned off. So just on a typical overnight, no problem. This will run, and then the vehicle will start right up in the morning. Now there are settings on here so that if the power gets too low on the battery, it will turn the refrigerator off. So little protection to keep the battery from being drained so bad that it won't power up. And so you get the power on one side, and on the other side, you have your control panel. And it's a reasonably okay interface on here. Sometimes you're playing around with it a little bit. But what's really nice is the app. And I'll bring up the app on here. Okay, so here's the app that we've got. And it shows both sides of the refrigerator. And I can turn each one on or off. I just tap on it to turn it on, to toggle it from on to off. And then I can individually set the temperatures on here. Right now I've got one side at 33 degrees and the other side at 13. And the current temperature is showing 30 and 14. So pretty handy. I have a all power, so I can just turn everything off. And then I can look at some statistics, see over the last few hours, days, or weeks, however long I have it on, what is my temperature differential. So I can make sure that it's operating efficiently. So at 3:10, I turned everything on. It was about 48 degrees. Right now it's 4:10, so it's been an hour that it's been running, and it's down to, or you can see there about 32 degrees. If we go to the other side, we can see that one dropped all the way down to about 10 degrees or so, and is kind of stabilizing there. And that's our statistics. We have our battery protection. I have mine on medium. I can change the name. I can set a temperature alarm, the temperature units, Celsius or Fahrenheit. What kind of network connection do I want? Do I want it to be Bluetooth or Wi-Fi? So I have it connected to my Wi-Fi network. So if this is out in the garage or sitting in the Jeep at night, I can monitor it from inside the house because it can connect to the Wi-Fi. So that is really, really cool. But let's look at the size. Oh, and I do want to mention that this cover is optional. So this does not come with it. This is an add-on. And Dometic did not give this to me. We bought this with our own money because we wanted a fridge. So let's take a look at the freezer side. And I'll move out here in front. So, got some nice cold bottles of water in here. And this has one tray, and you can see I've got 4 bottles of water. You can kind of see how much storage you have there. And then there's another compartment down here. That's that big. So that's the small side because the compressor is over here. And if you notice, there's a little light right here that turns on when we open it up. Latch it back down. And this is the large size. Now the baskets that is in here fills the entire tray. So there's 25 cans of soda. So you could double stack that and literally get 50 cans of soda in here very, very easily, and put in whatever other food you wanted in here. So for the two of us, this makes a lot of sense. And I love the fact that it's just got these baskets so you can easily get your food in and out. Now, what's also nice is you can reverse the doors. So if for some reason this setup doesn't work, you need them to open on the other side, you can flip them around and do that. This carrying, or this case around here, I don't know if it really provides much in the way of insulation to help maintain the temperature. I haven't done tests with it on and off, but it does have these pockets on both sides. And so I keep the power cords in here. So 2 pockets on the front, 2 pockets on the back. So great unit. Now, this thing is $1,400. So it is not cheap. It's not very light. I mean, I can easily move it myself, and when it's empty, Katarina can move it herself. So it's not that, but it is big, and this takes up a lot of space in the Jeep. So if you don't need a dual zone, you can definitely get a smaller fridge. It just really depends on what your specific needs are. Do you need a refrigerator and a freezer? Do you just need basically a cooler that doesn't need ice? And that's really the big advantage of this, is not having to deal with ice. You can actually make ice in here. We can take our ice packs that we used to use, put them in here overnight and freeze them and hand those to other people to put in their ice chests during the day. So that's fairly convenient. But do you need something like this? And for our trips, we have, our big or little or whatever, we have our tribe trailer that we take on different adventures throughout the year. And so having something that we could stock up on and use for a week at a time without having to deal with ice, that is really what it came down to. We wanted that convenience of not having to deal with ice, as well as being able to have frozen foods. And even in the best coolers, the ice just doesn't last but, a few days. And it's all going to settle at the same temperature. So either your stuff is all frozen or it's all not frozen. You can't really have both. With a system like this, you can absolutely have both, but your trade-off is it requires power, and it is a rather large size, and it's not cheap. So there's that. So if you're looking for a high quality fridge, it's going to last you a long time, that's got a ton of features, maybe the app control is something that you're really looking for, or the voltage protection so that it won't drain your battery and leave you stuck somewhere, the Dometic series is definitely the way to go. Now, I know there's other good brands out there. There's, ARB makes some good units, and there's a couple other brands that I know of that are really good, but this one fit our needs. It was the size we wanted. It was available at a store that's local to us called Jack's, so we didn't have to order it and wait for it to come in because we wanted it for a trip. So for us, this worked out really well. I would love to try some of the other ones and see how they are, but I'm not going to go around buying, $1,200 to $1,500 refrigerators just to test them out, unfortunately. So check it out. This is Dometic CFX73. There's bigger ones, there's smaller ones, but when you're talking a dual zone, this is kind of what you're looking at getting into in this, $1,300, $1,400 price range. So hopefully this answered some questions about the Dometics, what they're about, and the features, and why we went with this. So hopefully that helped you out some. So thanks for watching. This has been Kerry with Trail Traveler. Be safe out there. We'll see you on the trail.